Every night, it starts the same way. Hi guys, every night orbs just flood into my room, and then throughout the night they're doing something to me. I'm not quite sure what they're up to, but that's what this study is about. I've got a really creepy sound to play for you in just a minute. First, I want to give you an idea of how I process EVPs. Take a look at my bathroom with the FLIR. Now these are different shots just for reference, but take a look at when this orb comes in. It's actually cooler than the rest of the room. Now listen to this clip. This is the one we're going to work on. All of that clicking wasn't me, and I'm standing on a soft rug. We need a reference file to examine this. So here's our clip again, and I put a waveform under it, which is a very critical tool. These are all most likely EVPs, but they all need to be checked out. Clicks are very common, and they're the ones that people most often miss. So let's crank up the volume and listen to them again, but this time at 80%. So to me, there is clearly a lot of conversation going on here, and you can hear me breathing right here. Okay, so we need to filter it so we can hear it a little bit better. We'll slow it down to 70% and do this again. There's lots of talking here, and it has a very polyphonic sound to it. It's like several voices speaking at once with a little bit different pitch. But 3 of these interest me the most. We can learn a lot about the spirit world from these EVPs if we'll take the time to study them. These are very interesting conversations, and if you didn't have closed captions turned on, I'll tell you what I think now. The first one said, "I'm humbled," which is a good sign because then it's not demonic. The second one said, "Take a picture." And this is something that we don't often consider about the spirit world. They have electronics and they do everything just like we do. So take a picture confirms that. And then the third one said, "It's open." And this is something they always say when one of the portals is open. In fact, in this one I'm showing you, they said, "He left it open." And let me give you one more data point to consider. These sounds were not made audibly. These were made electronically. I did not hear them at the time. I can move about very quietly in my bathroom. And now a reference file for handling my iPad. I can find clicks, pops, taps, and knocks in other people's videos all the time that they missed. Oftentimes in the early morning hours, there's a strange motor humming sound. Up until this time, I was only recording audio, but after I heard these, I set up the cameras. It's like I'm on some strange alien operating table.
I washed it through the computer a few times and I was able to isolate this sound.
I immediately thought about the hunt for Red October. Our investigative process is the same.
Listen to it at 10 times speed.
And here's an investigative tip. We've always heard that their frequency is too fast and we have to slow clips down to hear them. But I've also discovered that they can be incredibly slow and we actually have to speed them up to hear them. EVPs are a reality, but they are quite confusing. Scientists have said brain waves are not electromagnetic waves. But how is it we can record EVPs with no microphones? Is this speech? I don't know. It sounds like it could be, but understand this is not a slam dunk. This is just one more circumstantial piece of evidence in building a case. I know that the aliens are up to something, and this sound is very rhythmic and mechanical. I wear a smaller version of a CPAP called a BiPAP. It is a very quiet machine, and I cannot snore. I can't even come close to duplicating this sound. The next clip sounded like this. So I know the aliens are up to something. They make all kinds of noises and comments. I have thousands upon thousands of EVPs and lots of strange little noises like this one. There will be a lot of room tone noise and then suddenly, boom, silence. There's also a lot of whistles, which the Skull Group reported getting. That could be my mask whistling, but I've never been able to duplicate it, and other people have reported whistling, so this is just one more piece of evidence. I've also learned that our equipment causes them to hear feedback, much like when we bring a cell phone by a speaker. Our gear interferes with them. I spend hundreds of hours analyzing these clips. It's going to be very difficult for you to hear it right off the bat. This one particular one I'm going to label right on the screen. On Wednesday at 2:20 in the morning, I came under attack. This was one of the first nights to have video, and what always seems to happen is I'll catch evidence of an attack on the digital audio, but all the cameras will fail. At 1 a.m., the DVR stopped recording for 2 hours. It took long hours of studying this to figure out what was going on, so I'm just going to label them for you here. You can hear me wrestling around, and then I ask my attackers in a panic, "What are you fixing to do?" Now I'll finish this episode with this transcript. Imagine you're in Grand Central Terminal listening to all the various conversations going by.